everybody. Welcome to my channel. My name is Marie and I have created the Caffeinated Classroom as a place for educators to come together. Hopefully that's what it'll become, is a place where we can form a community and talk to each other and collaborate, inspire each other, learn from each other. It's called the Caffeinated Classroom because I drink a lot of coffee and I really like it and it gives me a lot of energy. So there you go. Today I wanted to start with a little introduction, introduce myself and kind of tell you where I'm coming from. So I have been a teacher for like 11 years. Yeah, I think this is your, I should probably know this. I'm going to say around 11 years I have been a teacher, and most of my career has been in high school. I have a single subject California English credential. So I started as an English teacher. I think my very first year I taught 10th grade and 12th grade English, and it was kind of crazy because I was 22, 23 years old teaching high school seniors who were 17, 18 years old, so not a whole lot younger than me. And I looked like one of them and I sounded like one of them because I had this little, brand new teacher, 20-something voice. And although I knew what I was talking about, looking back now, I feel like there is a whole lot that I've learned. And I've done this for more than a decade, and most of that has been in the high school classroom. And I'm now a mom, and the shifts in my perspective, I think, have given me a whole lot of, I'm gonna say wisdom, even though I don't know how that sounds, of experience that I think I can share and that new teachers can hopefully use to better what they're doing and maybe even make them feel like they're not alone and just kind of, it's hard. Teaching is really hard. So I like to connect with other teachers. I figured this might be a really great way to do so. I started teaching as a high school English teacher, 10th grade and 12th grade English, and I taught just English for about 5 years. And then about 5 years in, I started teaching theater arts. I started teaching drama. And by a couple years ago, I was only teaching drama, and I was only the drama program coordinator. And so I ran all the plays and I ran all of the drama classes, both behind the scenes, so the technical stuff, and the acting classes, which I absolutely adored. And it was so much work, but it was so fulfilling and wonderful. But I now have a 4.5-year-old son and an 18-month-old daughter. And so when I was pregnant with my daughter, I had a few moments where I had to really just sit down and think to myself, how the heck am I going to do this with 2 kids? This is so incredibly difficult. Being a mom and working in the first place is so hard, but working the late hours that running a quality theater program needs and really just necessitates just wasn't feasible to be the mom that I want to be and to be the wife that I want to be and to be the teacher that I want to be. I was so tired all the time from being at school from 6:30 in the morning until past 10 o'clock at night during rehearsal weeks, because even after the kiddos go home, I was doing so much stuff. I needed to change it up. I needed to change what I was doing. I needed to change where I was doing it. I absolutely love the high school that I teach at. It's my home. It is where my kids are going to go. But I needed to branch out into my district and see what else was out there. So here I'm sitting at my desk and I'm 6 months pregnant. So my tummy's out here. And I was crying one day going, I don't know how I'm ever going to do this. And my kids are going to be so upset that I'm never home. I was just out of control, completely irrational, but also I had a point at the same time. And I was sitting at my desk in the theater office and bloop, up on my email came this email about a new program that my district was starting. And they were looking for teachers to come and basically teach on a learning wheel, but in the elementary classrooms. I go to 13 different schools. There are 26 schools in my district. I go to 13 of them. There are 20 of us on my teacher team, and we're all tenured from within the district. And each of us goes to half the schools. At each school, I see 3 different classes. So I'm not a math teacher, but that's 39 classrooms. I see 39 classrooms. So many children. I mean, they're great, but flu season was disgusting, but I digressed. I digress. Digressed isn't a word, but I digress would actually be a word. So here I go. Yes, so 39 classrooms, and I teach lessons having to do with STEM, science, technology, engineering, math, in case you didn't know, VAPA, visual and performing arts, which is like really what drew me to it, because obviously like performing art teacher, it's kind of my jam. Coding, which is kind of funny, just because like, I don't know what I'm talking about. But I'm like super good at logging onto Chromebooks now. Like I can get onto a Chromebook at any school, anywhere. And I can get a kindergartner on. And then, oh my gosh, what else do I teach? Oh, I teach PE. I teach PE, and that part I actually really enjoy. So every time I go into a classroom, I'm there. I'm only at one school a day for the whole entire day, and I see 3 different classes for 2-hour blocks each. And in those 2-hour blocks, it's like roughly 2 hours. Half of it is the lesson and activity, and then the other half is PE. And when it's sunny, because we're in San Diego, which is most of the time, we get to go outside and we get to show them different kinds of skills with games and drills and that sort of thing. And then when it is raining, like it has been lately, we are inside, and sometimes we're talking about nutrition and fitness and leading a healthy lifestyle and making like healthy food choices. Do like indoor stuff, which like Go Noodle is the best thing in the entire world. And at some point in a later video, I'll have to talk about my first experience with Go Noodle, because it was like really freaked me out, man. Super weird. But then when you like go, oh wow, this is amazing. Okay, anyways, I'll talk about it later. Sorry. So I have been doing this position for 2 years. It's not exactly what I thought I was going to get myself into, being a teacher on special assignment and doing this specific assignment. I was excited to be working with elementary kids because I have little ones right now, and it was something that like I've always kind of wondered. When I was becoming a teacher, I had that moment of like, so am I going to get a multiple subject credential and work with little guys, or am I going to get a single subject credential and work with big guys? Obviously, I got a single subject credential, so I have like a special permit to teach in a multiple subject classroom. But I always wondered, like, would I want to be an elementary teacher? Would I want to have my own elementary classroom? And I can tell you right now, I think I'm good. It's not that I don't like it, it's that I'm not at a point where I can like blow up my whole entire career and everything that I've done and do something completely new. I'm in year 2 of a 2-year commitment, and then next year I'll be heading back into the single subject classroom. Yeah, so that is what has gotten me to this point in my career in a nutshell. Yeah, the kind of teacher I am, I like to, obviously, I have a lot of energy. This is me on a Friday after I've taught all day long. I still talk really fast, but I have a lot of energy. I like to keep things lively and moving. And that is something I think that I was really, really strong at when I first started teaching. Since then, I have calmed down quite a bit, just in like, we don't always have to be moving all the time so that kids will stay engaged. Sometimes it's better to just like get them really excited and then slow down so they can do like a deep dive into whatever it is that we're talking about. So that's something that like I'm really trying to put into my own teaching philosophy and practice, is just like get them engaged, hook them with something, and then mindfulness so they can actually really understand and learn what it is that we're talking about. I want to give a quick little intro and say I am so excited to have you here, and thank you so much for watching.